Hi, welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be about unlocking a smartphone that has either an invisible screen or an unresponsive screen and is password protected. Now, this is a Samsung Note 10. Just a disclaimer, I'm not familiar with Apple products, so I can't speak to that. However, this Samsung Note 10 is a few years old and has this operating software is pretty similar to most of the former and latter models, the S series, the Galaxies, but anyways, a problem I ran into a little while back was my phone had fallen. It had fallen underneath the tires of several vehicles on the highway. So, nevertheless, the screen looked like this. And as you can see from this next image, it didn't really work except for this small section at the top. And so I got a new phone, this phone right here. It wasn't a problem. However, I still had information saved on the old phone that I wanted to retrieve. Some pictures, some contact information from old friends, and it was password protected, which means I needed to enter a passcode to be able to open the phone up and access the data. However, you saw the screen. How was I supposed to do that? Now, I asked around, I asked a few different people, and some of the professionals told me that my only option really was to, since the screen was so badly damaged, was to order a new screen or have them order a new screen, switch out the screens so that I can enter the passcode and go from there. Well, that was a pretty expensive option. Being a little tech savvy myself, I knew a little bit about my phone, and I knew I had a few other options. I just really wasn't sure how to go about it. And I verified those options with a couple of other individuals in the cellular sales arena. So when I say an viewable screen, what I mean is, like you saw in that one picture where only the top portion of the phone portrayed an image. So I couldn't do anything with the rest of the screen, and the rest of the screen is where the pin pad comes up in order for me to enter my passcode. Or you might have a phone that looks like this, and let's just say hypothetically your screen will come on, but when you touch it, nothing happens. For some reason, there's damage done to the phone and the screen will not interact with your fingers. Now, the screens on most cellular devices, most smartphones, tablets, laptops, touch versions, have what's called a capacitive screen, and it has electrical sensors underneath the screen right here, underneath the surface, that create a response when you touch the phone. It creates an electrical response to the area where you're touching, and that's how your screen interacts. But if your screen's damaged and you can't interact, what are you supposed to do? So you have a couple of different options. Something that was pretty common with computers, people did a lot, is you might connect one monitor to another monitor using a cord like a VGA cord. However, a newer technology, it's been around for a while, but it's something that has allowed us to transfer data a lot more effectively, is called an HDMI cord, which stands for High Definition Multimedia Interface. And it looks like this. There are 19 pins, and there's a couple of different versions. However, what an HDMI cord allows you to do is connect multiple types of devices to some type of screen, whether it be a television screen, whether it be a computer monitor. You have a few different options. Now, the problem is, if you look here on my phone, this HDMI cord is not going to fit in there. So what I'm going to need is some type of an adapter. Now, there's lots of different options that are out there. They have some that have a Type-C port on one end of the cable and an HDMI port on the other. They have some that will have a Type-C cord on one end and then a little receiver in which you would plug the HDMI cord into. And they also have some that are multi-port adapters, and what I mean by that is you plug in multiple devices. This is kind of important because in order to access this screen, I don't need to just be able to see the screen, but I need to be able to interact with the screen. So that's where devices like this comes in. This is the Anker 5-in-1 USB-C hub. This is what it looks like out of the package. As you can see, there's a Type-C port on this end, and the adapter, it has two USB-A ports on that side, it has two USB-C ports on this side, and then it has your HDMI port right here. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to plug this part into the phone, just like that. And then once that's done, you'll see that light come on, indicating that it's powering, the phone is powering this device. And then from there, I would take my HDMI cord and I would plug it in like that, and then I would plug the opposite end to my television screen or whatever device you're transmitting to, whether that be a computer screen, some other type of monitor. However, just because you can see the screen doesn't mean you're going to be able to interact with it. And there are a couple of other devices that I'd like to point out that will allow you to perform this function. The first is what's called a Bluetooth mouse. Now, this is made by Logitech, and the way it works is you can pick these up at Walmart, Amazon, a lot of places for $15, $20 or so, and it comes with a little USB adapter right here. That's a USB Type A. And so what you would end up doing is you would connect this Type A USB cord, and it doesn't have to be Bluetooth, but this is just an option right there. You will plug this into one of these ports, and then you would turn on your Bluetooth mouse, and you see the light comes on and it's active. Now, you would use this in situations where, say, your screen is not damaged to the point that you can't see it. However, it's not interactive. It's not working with your your fingertips, your touches. And so anyways, so I've got it connected right here, and if you look closely, you can see my mouse moving up and down on the screen. And so in this situation, here's what you would do. You would plug all this up, and then you would take the mouse and you would left click or right click, it doesn't really matter, but you're gonna, oops, all right, so let's go back. You're wanting to swipe basically, all right, to bring up the pin pad. And then as you can see, I'm using my mouse cursor to enter this password 1234, and I'm scrolling down to OK, and voila, you've accessed your phone. And the first thing you need to do from there is you need to go in and turn off your password. And so in case the screen goes off again, you don't run into this problem. However, the situation with my phone, where the screen was destroyed to the point to where I could not see the pin pad, what are you going to do? Because just because you can interact with the screen, you also have to see where you're interacting. You're going to have to enter a passcode, which means you're going to have to put that cursor on those numbers, type them in, and then press the basically the enter key. But if you can't see the numbers, what are you supposed to do? This was a situation that I was in, and it was very confusing. I wasn't sure what to do about it, but I did eventually figure it out. through some help, through a lot of research, and the answer is going to be a Bluetooth keyboard. Now, this is not very expensive. Logitech K400 Plus, I believe. I've seen these recently for $20, $25 on Walmart, Amazon, and all it requires, you take this back end off, and you're going to put a couple of AA's in there, and it's going to come with this USB-A adapter. So just like I did with the mouse, you're going to take this and you would plug it in, and from there you're going to want to make sure you turn your keyboard on, and as you'll see, now this keyboard has a mouse pad, so you can see the mouse moving around on there. But what happens if you run into the problem where you can't see the screen, like I was in? Well, what you're going to do is this. You can hit your power button, and it's going to bring up this screen right here, but it's still locked. And so what you're going to do is you're going to hit probably really any key on your keyboard, but you might as well just hit the enter button or the enter key. So you hit enter, and that's going to bring up your pin pad. Now even if you can't see it, it's there, and then you would just type in 1 2 3 4 on your keypad and hit enter, and voila, you've accessed your phone. So that is a very easy step. Like I said, you would just hit enter, and then 1 2 3 4 on your keypad, hit enter again, excuse me, your keyboard, and you're going to have an unlocked phone. And again, go in there and make sure you turn off your screen lock before you accidentally turn the screen off again. This tip, I hope, will save you a lot of money. It saved me several $100s, but it took a lot of time to figure it out. It took a lot of time, a lot of research, and so hopefully this video will help you to be able to get to that stage a lot quicker. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. Share this video with others in case they don't know about this little tip and trick, and stay tuned for more informative videos. Thanks.